You ever feel just completely lost? Like you're just floating out there waiting for some massive, undeniable sign from the universe to point you in the right direction? Yeah, I think we've all been there. That feeling of waiting for some huge moment to finally make everything clear. It's that exact feeling, right? You're out there in the dark, and all you want is that giant lighthouse beam to just cut through the fog and say, hey, go this way. But here's a thought. What if we're looking for the wrong kind of light altogether? Yeah, we're waiting for these huge things, a lighthouse, a raging bonfire, a full-on tidal wave to tell us we're on the right track. But the universe, it doesn't really shout. It whispers. It gives you a little spark, a flicker, a single drop of dew. The wisdom is totally there. We have to learn how to see the small stuff. So where does this whole idea even come from? Well, it's not some new age thing you'd find on a coffee mug. Nope. This is old. I mean, ancient. It comes from the symbolic language of alchemy. And listen, alchemy wasn't just about trying to turn lead into gold, you know? It was this really deep philosophy about transformation, about finding something amazing, something almost divine in the totally ordinary stuff.
Okay, so the inspiration for all of this, for this whole explainer, it comes from this gorgeous card. It's card number 46, and it's called Scintillae. It's from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck by the amazing Krans. And seriously, the lesson on this one card is wow, so powerful.
Scintilla. It's just the old alchemical word for sparks of light. But pay attention to the scale here, because this is key. This isn't the sun. It's not a bonfire. We're talking about these tiny, little, almost invisible, but totally brilliant flashes of light in the middle of the darkness. All right, so how do we take this ancient idea and actually, use it in our lives today? Where do these sparks show up? Well, let's start with a big one. A really big one. Love and connection. I mean, this is a question that hits deep, right? We've all asked it. Maybe out loud, or maybe just, in those quiet moments when you're feeling a little unsure. We put so much out there. We pour so much energy into the world. And we just want to know, is any of it coming back? Is it a two-way street? And a lot of times we end up thinking, nope, it's not coming back. But here's the thing. That's usually because we're still waiting for that tidal wave, that huge movie moment declaration of love. The truth, the real answer is almost always way, way quieter. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting, how we can completely reframe this. Reciprocity. It's not one big thing. Look here. Step 1. It's that friend who just sits there and listens. No judgment. Step 2, it's the stranger who holds the door for you when your hands are full. And step 3, oh, this is a good one. It's that little flash, that spark of connection you feel when someone really gets what you're trying to say. See? Those are the sparks. That is the love coming back to you. It's not a tidal wave. It's more like 1,000 tiny dewdrops. And the best part, it's not something you have to wait for. It's happening all around you, right now. Okay, so this whole spark thing isn't just for relationships. Not at all. It builds from here. This idea applies to pretty much everything. Every dream you have, every project, every goal. This is like a fundamental rule in alchemy, and it's so true for life. Think about it. Nothing great ever starts out great. No masterpiece painting, no billion-dollar company, no epic journey. None of it started out as this big, finished thing. Every single one started as just a tiny little spark of an idea. Just think about your own life. That passion project you keep putting off, it doesn't need $1 million to get going. It just needs one small action. Your career, it's not about one giant promotion. It's about all the little steps you take along the way. And healing, man, that's not some overnight miracle. It's that one moment you decide, I'm going to be a little kinder to myself today. Those are the sparks. But here's the real kicker. The spark is just the start. The real magic, the alchemy, happens when you nurture it. You got to protect that little flicker of an idea. You have to feed it with your attention, with your intention. And when you do that, that's when it can grow into a fire big enough to change your entire world. No exaggeration. And that brings it all right back to you, doesn't it? You're the alchemist here, in your own life. You're the one with the power to find these sparks and to help them grow. So stop waiting for the sun. Stop looking so hard for this massive, blinding light that you miss the sparks you're literally holding in your hands. The power isn't somewhere out there down the road. It's right here. It's in those little ideas, those quiet gut feelings, those tiny opportunities that maybe you've been brushing off. And that brings us right back to where we started.
It's all about trusting the process, trusting that really small beginnings can turn into something incredible. Your job? It's simple, really. Just notice the sparks and keep shining. So I want to leave you with this one question. Forget about the 5-year plan for a second. Let's talk about right now, today. Look around you, look inside yourself, and just ask, what's one small spark, no matter how tiny or silly it seems, that you're going to nurture today?